People around the world are now facing the same problem, coronavirus pandemic. The shortage of equipment and healthcare products became severe due to the size and scope of what we are experiencing now. However, there are quite a few big companies helping in different ways, from manufacturing medical supplies to partnering with other manufacturers to invent and produce devices such as ventilators. They are now joining the force to fight coronavirus, even they are also affected by the shutdown of the communities. In March, LVMH, the Paris-based owner of luxury brands like Dior and Louis Vuitton, announced to change the facilities that produce fragrances and cosmetics for Christian Dior, Guerlain, and Givenchy into production sites of hydroalcoholic gel. All non-essential businesses in France were ordered to close, and President Emmanuel Macron told residents not to leave home for up to 15 days or face punishment, as the number of cases in the country rose to 6,650 and deaths to 148 in mid-March. A spokeswoman for the Paris hospital system said supplies of hydroalcoholic gel were strained. Given the risk that there would be a shortage of hand sanitizer in France, LVMH started making hand sanitizer and distributed it free of charge to hospitals in France to help to fight the COVID-19 coronavirus outbreak. The gel has been delivered for free to French health authorities in mid-March. LVMH will continue to honor this commitment for as long as necessary, in connection with the French health authorities, the company said. LVMH has also ordered 40 million masks from China to give to the French health service. Louis Vuitton, Christian Dior Couture, Celine, Kenzo and Fred have all begun preparing large quantities of non-surgical face masks for the general public and hospital gowns, according to the company website. The founder of Dyson Limited, James Dyson, confirmed that the UK government has ordered 10,000 ventilators from his company. The producer of cordless vacuum cleaners and hair styling products has designed a medical ventilator called Covent for treating severe coronavirus patients in less than 10 days, in order to fill the massive order from the British National Health Service, NHS. The country's stock of about 5,000 to 8,000 ventilators was facing the risk of shortage. The number of coronavirus deaths in the UK rose to 1,789 by the end of March. The government had talked with over 3,000 businesses about the supply of ventilators. This new device can be manufactured quickly, efficiently and at volume, James Dyson said. Other than those ventilators supplied at cost price, he has also said he would pay for the provision of a further 5,000 machines out of his own pocket, with 1,000 reserved for the NHS and the remainder available to underpin international healthcare efforts. Besides, JCB and Babcock also joined the force to partner with Dyson in working on the new model of hospital ventilators. This is a critical time for the country as a whole and for the NHS in particular. When the opportunity arose for us to get involved in helping the NHS to save lives, we knew it was the right thing to do. Combining our engineering expertise with advances in medical technology has resulted in a solution that will help the NHS save lives, said John Hall, the managing director of technology for Babcock. GM projected to manufacture surgical masks by converting the manufacturing facility in Warren, Michigan in less than 7 days. This facility is projected to produce up to 50,000 masks per day, or approximately 1.5 million each month, said the company. It is also working closely with Ventec Life Systems to build ventilators at the car maker's plant in Kokomo, Indiana. U.S. President Donald Trump issued a federal order to force General Motors to manufacture ventilators for coronavirus patients, as supplies of the crucial hospital equipment was facing shortage. He invoked the Korean War Era Defense Production Act, which allows a president to force companies to make products for national defense. In addition to working on the ventilators, GM also directed $2 million in grant funding to non-profit organizations across the country to address increasing critical needs, and their global purchasing supply chain team began work to find excess personal protective equipment, PPE, knowing that a severe shortage of PPE in healthcare system may exist, according to the company website. Rolls-Royce is one of many companies that have responded to the UK government's plea and is now involved in the project to help rapidly manufacture greater quantities of ventilators. Recently, a ventilator being built by a consortium of firms including Rolls-Royce and Airbus has received the first regulatory approval. The company has 2 factories in Barnoldswick. It was to set up a parallel supply chain to feed in materials quickly to a new assembly plant being delivered by GKN.
Seat,
a member of Volkswagen Group, has been collaborating with the healthcare system by making automated ventilators with adapted windscreen wiper motors. 150 employees have been involved, according to the company website. Audi, also the part of the group, contributed €400,000 to Ingolstadt Hospital and another €200,000 to the SLK hospitals in Heilbronn on March 30. It also provided 15,000 medical masks. Lamborghini, the subsidiary of Audi, has been producing face masks and plexiglass shields for medical personnel to use. It has donated these supplies to a local hospital in Italy, where it was well known that lack of supplies and a horrendous coronavirus outbreak have led to a relatively high proportion of COVID-19-linked deaths. They have been contributing 1,000 masks per day and 200 medical face shields per day created with 3D printers. French luxury fashion conglomerate Kering, which owned Balenciaga, YSL and Gucci, prepared to turn their production lines to meet the needs arising from the coronavirus crisis. According to the statement issued by the group in 22 March, Gucci also responded to a call to fashion companies from the Regione Toscana for surgical masks and medical overalls, and could be able to donate 1,100,000 surgical masks and 55,000 medical overalls in the coming weeks, subject to relevant authorizations. The world's biggest fashion retailer Inditex, owner of brands such as Zara and Bershka, announced in mid-March that it would donate masks to coronavirus patients and health officials in Spain. It also planned to turn over supply chains to produce medical supplies. According to the statement made by the Spanish group in mid-March, it has already donated 10,000 protective face masks and by the end of this week expects to be in a position to ship another 300,000 surgical masks. The statement also confirmed the company planned to make medical gowns once they had managed to source medical-grade materials and fabrics. Amancio Ortega, the founder and owner of the group, said his foundation had bought medical material worth €63 million, which included ventilators, masks and testing kits for Spain. Government officials have highlighted that without Inditex's planes, most of the supplies would be stuck in China, said Alberto Núñez Feijóo, head of the northern region of Galicia, where Inditex has its headquarters. Prada, the big-name fashion brand focused on elegant blazers and blouses, turned its production lines to produce 110,000 masks, 80,000 medical overalls in its factory in Italy. It began to produce the above-mentioned equipment on 18 March and targeted to allocate them to healthcare personnel in Tuscany by 6 April, following a request from the Italian region's government. The company has uploaded the photos of mask production to their social media account. Airbus employees in Spain are working around the clock to make visor frames for protective face masks using innovative 3D printing technology, the company said. It also said that it complemented Airbus' series of transport flights from China to carry millions of face masks to Europe for supply to hospitals and healthcare workers. Now, Spanish employees of Airbus from all sites are producing 300 visor frames a day, with thousands already being donated. At the same time, Airbus in the UK joined the firms including Siemens, Ford and several Formula One teams working with Penland, a medical device maker, to adapt its ventilator so that it could produce at full speed. The government recently approved the ventilator built by them, and made an order of 15,000.